I'm Avery Davidson.
And I'm Kristen Oaks-White. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. A new federal program is aiming to weave more cotton into our lives. The Great American Cotton Plan encourages people to buy plant-based clothes instead of plastic.
The USDA program could mean a big boost for Louisiana's cotton growers. TWILA's Josh Meeks visited one cotton farm in East Carroll Parish where they always encourage people to buy local.
When you think about agriculture and farmers, chances are you picture a tractor, rows of crops, and food. But a lot of agriculture is also the reason you have clothes on your back. This summer, the USDA is rolling out the Great American Cotton Plan to help give a boost to our cotton farmers as well as American-made clothes. That's music to the ears of Nick Van Mol, a first-generation cotton farmer in East Carroll Parish.
Absolutely. I hope that everyone buys more products made from locally grown cotton. I know I'm a little familiar with the program, the Buy American Cotton Act, and they're trying to get away from the synthetic fibers and back to using natural cotton to make our clothes. People buying domestic cotton would definitely help.
Right now, the price of cotton is pretty good. It's why Van Mol planted cotton in addition to corn, soybeans, and rice. He says with cotton, you can't always count on those high prices.
I didn't grow cotton last year because the price fell too much to make a profit margin, like make our margins work. I always hire a custom picker, so that is a number I have to factor in. And with that being in there, I couldn't make the numbers work, and cotton was below 62 cents a pound. This year, with it being above 75 cents, we thought we could make a profit on it.
The USDA's cotton push aims to increase demand, and while Van Mol says he's thankful for any help, there are still other major factors that have to be considered.
We definitely need fertilizer and diesel prices to come down. They're strangling us to death right now with that. The fertilizer alone is eating up most of our budget.
But if people do buy his cotton, know that he's proud to have put the clothes on your back.
To know that I helped grow cotton to make people's clothes and that they're staying right here at home, it really does give you a sense of pride.
Reporting from Lake Providence for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Josh Meeks.
There were an estimated 90,000 acres of cotton harvested last year, Louisiana's smallest crop ever. This year is expected to be slightly higher.
The deadly livestock parasite New World Screwworm is now in the United States, and as we record this, has been detected in Texas and New Mexico. The USDA says it has detected 6 cases as of June 10th. It's too soon to tell if U.S.-based cases will impact the price of beef, which is already at a record high of $9.64 per pound. A new facility in Texas is set to start mass-producing sterile flies to combat the spread, but that likely won't begin until 2027.
This week, we're wrapping up our series profiling the 3 finalists vying for the Louisiana Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award.
For our last finalist, we take you to West Carroll Parish, where Wyatt Bolding is building on a family legacy that stretches back 5 generations. The corn and soybean farmer started with just 100 acres of neglected ground and has grown his operation through hard work, stewardship, and faith. After a week of rain, the sun finally breaks through the clouds over West Carroll Parish. And for Wyatt Bolding, that sunshine means it's go time again. 5 generations after his great-grandfather worked this land as a sharecropper, Wyatt is building his own legacy.
I always had a dream to farm, as a little kid and growing up, and even now, it's just one of those things that when you get a fire for something and it's built in you, it don't go away, and that's my fire.
From corn and soybeans to a fast-growing custom spraying business, Wyatt has spent the last few years building his operation from the ground up.
Have had a lot of answered prayers and a lot of hard work's paid off, because to start from nothing to be at 500 acres now, picking up outside of what my dad farmed, it's been an adventure and it's been a dream come true.
While the roots of this farm run deep, Wyatt is also focused on its future. Using technology, precision planning, and custom spraying programs, he's finding new ways to make the operation more efficient and more productive. But this year, it hasn't come easy.
When it's sunshiny and you can plant, the first week of March, you plant. And so that's what we did alongside a lot of other of our neighbors. And the frost come through, Everybody's calling it defrost. I guess it's because it was defrost that got all the corn. It wound up being about, 8 to 10 degrees cooler than what they were calling for. So it killed every bit of it. What it didn't kill, I had to go over with a sprayer. But we got all of it replanted. So there's a reason for everything. You might not see it at the same time, but the corn is absolutely growing its tail off and it's looking great.
And just as the corn recovered, another challenge arrived. Dry weather made it difficult to find enough moisture to get soybeans in the ground.
It's been one extreme to the other. We battled very dry weather. It's hard to make a decision when it's dry enough to plant. You want to plant, but we was having trouble finding moisture. We've got some timely rains, and in those few windows, we've made it happen, but it has been a show for sure.
Through every high and low, Wyatt says his faith keeps him grounded.
I had a friend ask me, what's your secret? I said, I'll tell you, there is no secret. Control what you can control and pray about what you can't. Be okay with it. The weather we can't control, the inputs we can't control, the market we can't control. You just got to trust that it's going to work out. And that's where my optimism comes from, because when I put my faith in the Lord and allow Him to do what He needs to do, and I do my part, He always takes care of it.
Out here, the farm isn't just a family business. It's a playground, a classroom, and maybe one day, a legacy passed on to the next generation.
I have 2 little girls, and both of them are my whole world. I love them to death. And I just prayed, I said, Lord, if I have girls, please let them love the outdoors and love what I want to be able to spend time with them, and I want to enjoy doing that. And He completely answered that prayer. They love it. It's instilled in them too.
For Wyatt, agriculture isn't about making a living, it's about building a life.
It's a hard life, but it's a good life. I keep doing it because I love it. It works for my family, and it's my calling. If I wasn't called to do this, I wouldn't be doing it right now.
The winner of the 2026 Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award will receive a $35,000 cash prize and an all-expenses-paid trip to the American Farm Bureau Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, to compete for the National YF&R Achievement Award in January of 2027. Congratulations to all of our finalists this year. It's been an honor to share your stories.
Still to come on TWILA, we sit down with Louisiana Treasurer John Fleming in his run for the state's Senate seat. Stay with us. We now continue our series of interviews with candidates running for the U.S. Senate here in Louisiana. Joining me now is someone you likely know because he's already a statewide elected official, Treasurer John Fleming. Treasurer Fleming, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Avery, for having me today.
Well, for people who may not know you, let's tell us a little bit about yourself, going all the way back to your time in the Navy.
Sure. Well, I'm a family physician, board certified. Set up my practice in 1982 in North Louisiana, Minden. Before that, I was actually a Navy doctor. I was in the United States Navy for 6 years. But after setting up my practice in Minden, for a few years after that, I began to grow businesses, create businesses. I still employ 350 Louisianans today, so I sign the front of the check, not the back of the check. And so those are my contributions, hopefully, to Louisiana. In 2009, I went to Congress, served 8 years, was one of the founders of the House Freedom Caucus. And then I went into the Trump administration. He appointed me to 3 different positions in that 4 years. And in the final year, I was his deputy chief of staff in the White House, and that was during the pandemic years. So I've really done a lot of things, have a pretty broad and deep background. And certainly as a small businessman, I can really identify with farmers.
You have been involved in public service for so much of your life. What made you decide, okay, I'm enjoying my time as treasurer, but I want to run for Senate?
Well, because there are things that I wasn't able to get done while I was in the House of Representatives. I like to go back. As a physician, I opposed Obamacare. And it has done nothing but raise the cost of care and lowered the quality of care in many cases. And I would like to go back and fix that. Bring a open and transparent price market where people can choose their physicians and their physicians can spend time with them instead of feel like they're on an assembly line. So there's much work to do to reform our healthcare system away from the very expensive Obamacare system that we have today.
Now, you obviously have represented a district with a lot of agriculture in it. How important is agriculture to you and for your vision for the state of Louisiana?
Well, it's very important. I come from a long line of farmers. I didn't farm myself. My father left the farm when he was drafted into World War II. Every Fleming going all the way back to Scotland in the 1700s was a farmer. So I come from my DNA is really farming, if you will. But again, I identify farmers and farming and cattlemen as small business people. It's all about the top line, it's all about the bottom line, it's all about profit margins and how thin they get. And I know today that farmers and cattlemen are really suffering tremendously because of the high overhead and things that are controlling the price, depressing the price where they can't make a decent profit.
While you were in Congress, a farm bill, at least one, if not two, came up while you were in there. And there has been something going around on social media pointing out that you voted against the farm bill. What other votes did you take there? And also, how would you respond to that?
Well, I and a number of Republicans voted against the farm bill because what we were trying to do is to break away the farm bill from the SNAP or the nutritional side. As you know, $1 trillion and 70 to 80% of it is all for SNAP or food stamps, if you want to call it that. And there's huge fraud, waste, and abuse there. And it's so difficult to get our arms around that as long as you've got a little bitty farm bill tagged onto it. So what we wanted to do is to splice that, vote separately on the farm bill, and enhance it and improve the subsidies and the insurance and everything that goes with that. So we tried, but again, Obama was a president and we failed. But still, farmers would be much better off today had we been able to separate the farm piece of the farm bill, which is really a nutritional bill, with a little bitty farm bill on the side.
Well, we're having to wrap up here in just a moment. So in these last few moments, why should someone vote for John Fleming?
Well, in this race, it's down to two people, Julia Letlow and myself. Julia Letlow has a more liberal voting record than me. Mine's solidly conservative. I'm one of the founders of the House Freedom Caucus. I'm totally opposed to carbon capture and sequestration, which I know many farmers are as well. Julia Letlow is all for it. She adores it and the other sort of alternative energy forms that have been kicked around but really are a waste of government money. So the election's coming up later this month, and it's really up to two individuals, and you just have to decide who you think is the best suited to represent you in Washington.
Well, we appreciate you coming here on This Week in Louisiana Agriculture and making that pitch. He is Treasurer John Fleming, running for the U.S. Senate. And remember, that election date is June 27th. It is a primary election. Now, coming up after the break, we have a very, very special TWILA boost you do not want to miss. Stay with us. Time now for this week's TWILA Boost, and it's a bittersweet one. After 16 years, my partner, Kristen Oaks-White, is leaving the set, and gonna miss you, but we all want to know where you're going, what you're doing.
I was hoping we could get it through today without having to do this. An opportunity presented itself. You know, I do art. We've had a story on the show about it, and I had the opportunity to buy the store where I was selling some of my art on the side, and I just felt like I had to jump in and try it. If I didn't try, I would never know. And it may fail, and I may be back, but
No, you're not going to fail.
we're going to make a go at this.
I can promise you that you will not fail. Well, after 16 years, you don't get to just walk out the door and leave. Here's a little something that we put together just to say we love you.
Joining me now is the newest member of the TWILA team, Kristen Oaks. And Kristen, welcome to This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Glad to be here, Mike.
Now, your family are poultry growers in the Monroe area, right?
That's correct.
Well, you know a lot about agriculture, and we're happy to have you on board. And your first Ag Minute is perfect for this time of year because strawberry harvest is just around the corner.
Exactly. While Louisiana typically averages about 400 acres of strawberries in production, mainly in Livingston and Tangipahoa parishes, Louisianians always look forward to this time of year. But while many of us enjoy delicious Louisiana strawberries in a variety of ways, there was a time in history when those juicy berries were determined to be unfit to eat.
Hey guys, welcome back to Blooming. That's stupid. Chickens are the stupidest animals.
It's the second largest industry in the state.
Okay. Cheese, ready for cheese?
Yeah, put the cheese in. It's your right. Do you just
Don't pop my biscuits! Kristen, not long after you got here, one of the things you told me was that we probably wouldn't have been friends if it were not for work. And certainly Mike Dana introducing you as Fox News, and I just didn't think that there was any way that that would be possible. But finding out that you have you're the only one in the department that has more of a potty mouth than me, and our text messages, our conversations, our interactions over the years, I think we've certainly grown to be friends, and I think of you like a younger sister I never had. And I just wanted you to know that I'm so proud of you for going on from this job into pursuing your dreams, and my dearest hope is that you find fulfillment both as an artist and as a person, in addition to all the other things that you do. Congratulations, and we'll certainly miss you.
If I could pinch your tiny little head off right now, I would.
Y'all.
Kristen, when I first started here, it's been you and I. We were the dream team. We would go out and do all these wife and our stories together, from Luckett Farms to Caddo Parish with the Rumbas. I remember lots of hours in vehicles riding together and telling stories, shooting video, and it's been a real joy of my life to get to work with you so long. I'm really sad to see you leave. I'm really excited for your next steps. One shoot I will always remember is on the bayou with Zippy Duval and a bunch of other Farm Bureau leaders as we were shooting a bunch of Louisiana stuff, and it was actually a long day, but it was a fun day, and I'm gonna miss those days out shooting with you, and I wish you all the best.
Shut up!
No, that was fine. You could have kept going with it.
Oh, shut up, Avery. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I'm never gonna be Martha Stewart. Well, I can't pull the dadgum trigger.
Oh boy. Kristen, I just want to thank you for the over 15 years of service and dedication, and the passion that you've put into your job and sharing our message as it relates to Louisiana Farm Bureau, our volunteers, and our mission and our message to all the volunteers around the state. And we want to wish you the best in your new career opportunities coming down the road. And I want to thank you for what you've done for TWILA, Louisiana Farm Bureau, and for us as the Farm Bureau family. Appreciate you.
As TWILA's Josh Meeky.
Nope.
Your last name is stupid.
Kristen, out of everybody in comms, I think you and I have worked together the shortest amount of time. It's just been 2.5 years. It's really hadn't been enough. I've greatly enjoyed working alongside you and getting to know you over this unfortunate short period of time. Although I do think out of everybody here, I've technically known you the longest because I remember when you were a sideline reporter for CST. I'm genuinely happy for you. I know you're gonna do amazing things as an artist, and I'm really looking forward to whatever's next for you. We're gonna miss you.
But even I wasn't aware of this.
That's because you don't know anything, Mike. That's not gonna work, is it?
Tell me a little bit of what's involved there.
Well, we've just been going all across the state to Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Monroe, Shreveport, doing things like this, promoting beef and doing some cooking shows with some different recipes. So just promoting beef.
Oh, that's hot.
Kristen, I think it's safe to say that every girl who grew up with a passion for agriculture and wanting to be in ag communications in any sort has looked up to you. I know I did, and I know that was evident even at FFA convention yesterday as somebody imitated Kristen Oaks-White in their skit. I'm just so thankful that I got the opportunity to not only look up to you, but work with you as an intern all those years, and thankfully as co-workers for the last 5. We're definitely going to miss you, but we're wishing you so much luck in your next journey. We know you'll be just as great at that as you are at everything. Good luck.
This is the part of the show where you're asking, where is the beautiful and talented Kristen Oaks? I mean, it's the Ag Minute and I'm stuck looking at Avery. Well, here is Kristen at her wedding reception on April 11th looking as beautiful as ever and showing that she can keep a beat. I know you're making the right decision. Okay, I know that it's what's best for you and for Teddy and for the family. It just, it sucks for us. You're going to be so successful over there in Natchez with the art gallery. You're so successful already with your art. So I wish you well. Stay close, stay in touch, and know that I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Did you have a lobotomy over the weekend? Son of a biscuit, it's hot out here.
Kristen, if you remember us sitting down one day over on the far side of a show barn where nobody was around, and I told you if you wanted to win showmanship, you could. And I've watched you through all your life tackle things that others think you can't do. And I know you can do it, and you will do it. And it's always onward and upward. I've always had faith in you, and I always will have faith in you. Good luck, baby. My little hot shot.
How can these little bugs help you in your garden? We'll show you next time on Blooming on the Bayou.
Well, that was a very mean thing to do while we were still shooting the show. But I want to take a second to, for 16 years, this has been such a huge part of my life. And I thought about it that it's even more time almost that I spent in school. Mm-hmm. And school is always such a fundamental part of people's lives. And this has been longer than school for me, I guess. I want to thank the viewers we've got some loyal viewers, and the people that say they watch our show. It's always good to hear. But I really want to thank the farmers and ranchers who have allowed us to come into their homes, their farms, their ranches, and trusted us to share their story. And you guys. You know that farming's in my bones, and it always will be. Agriculture and farming. But Farm Bureau is home, and it always will be. So it's not goodbye. It's see you later. Because this might not work out, and I might be back looking for another job. So
we always take family in. Always.
Thank y'all.